Morning, everybody. Hope everybody's feeling well today. Thank you for joining us for our 45-minute stick class this Saturday, right today. So let's go ahead and get started. As always, have a pad available for you, or if you're at home on your carpet, that's fine, or a couch cushion. Have a seat available, and of course, have a wall or a door jamb near you also. So we're gonna do some half kneeling position stuff today. Also doing some single leg work, and then we're gonna move into some stretching. So let's go ahead and get started. Let's go ahead and grab two sticks. So we got the two 6-footers, or if you got 7-footers or 5-footers, go ahead and grab those. So let's bring our feet together. Let's get those feet warmed up, all right? So feet are close together. Sticks are 11 o'clock and 1 o'clock. I've got my hands about chest level. And from here, I'm going to extend the arms so the bottom of the sticks are slightly angled towards me. And then I'm going to move my left foot back right now. So my left foot is back, nice big step. Don't be afraid to take that big stride. Back heel is elevated so the left toes are in extension. From here, I'm going to bring my front heel up also. I'm going to shift my weight forward. So I have most of my weight onto that right foot. And I'm going to come back slowly and drop my front heel down. And again, shifting weight forward, and as you shift weight forward onto that right foot, your right heel is coming up. Back down. When you come up into your toe extension on that right foot, try to make sure that your foot is not collapsing out or in. All right, rolling out or collapsing in. Stretch forward again, reach, keeping your body nice and straight, driving the hips forward. So don't just lean with the torso. Drive your hips forward. Back down. Let's go one more. Move the sticks forward just a little bit farther if you need to. Ready? Shift weight. Remember, your pelvis is pushing forward also. Back down and one more. Ready? Here we go. Pushing those sticks into the floor. As you shift forward, give those sticks a little push. Now, try to take weight off that back foot and try to hover that back foot. So you're on your right foot, right toe extension, and back down. Nice. Let's go ahead and switch sides. So big step back with the right foot. Big stride. Back heel is up. Toes are in extension. Push those sticks into the floor. About 40% tension. Shift weight forward. So we're sinking forward, driving the hips forward. And the left heel is coming up. Back slowly. 4 more reps. Shift forward. Back slow. 3 more. Here we go. Two more. Remember that right leg should be nice and straight right now. 1 more. And we know what we're going to throw in here at the end. So even if you don't have the strength to load and take that back foot off the floor, just give the intention like you're about to. And as you're about to lift it, you're going to feel even more weight shift onto that left foot. Back slow and relax. And you probably felt a good amount through the front anterior tissue of that leg. All right? So let's put one stick down. Bring your chair on over. All right? Let's have a seat. Okay, from here, sit on the edge of the seat, not all the way back. Overhand grip on the stick. Make sure the pinkies are engaged. We are not drinking tea, so we don't want pinkies flying off. Those are directly connected to your posterior arm line or your tricep line. Okay, from here, overhand grip. Pull apart on that stick about 40% tension. Nice tall spine. Imagine somebody has a string at the top of your head and is pulling you up towards the ceiling. Lengthen that spine. Come up overhead. Pull. You're still pulling apart on that stick and hold. Breathe. Elbows straight, ribs down. So don't let the ribs escape your control and flare up. Use that abdominal cylinder to keep those ribs down. Keep pulling apart. Bring the stick back to your starting position. When you see the stick in your peripheral line of sight, push in on the stick, shorten that stick. And again, pull, 40% tension, up overhead. Try to pull back a little bit farther, keep those ribs down, head up, don't push the head forward either. Breathe, pull. You're not being passive up here, you're active. You should feel your posterior arm line and the outer lats pulling that stick apart. Keep pulling apart as you come back down. When you see the stick in your peripheral line of sight, push in, shorten that stick. If it's a 6-foot stick, you're trying to make it 5.5 feet in length. Ready? Here we go again. Ready? Pull. It's a 6-foot stick, you're trying to make it 6.5 feet in length. Up overhead, hold position. You're still pulling apart. And now slowly drop the stick behind the head. Breathe. Keep pulling apart as you drive the stick back up. Keep your ribs down, elbows in full extension, and come back to your starting position. When you see the stick in your peripheral line of sight, push in. Okay, ready? We're going to do 2 more reps. Here we go. Ready? Pull, 40% tension, up overhead. Breathe. Hold. And slowly bring the stick down behind the head. Hold that position and now rotate to the left. Try not to let your hips slide. Even on the seat, that the hips are going to want to slide. So right now, your right hip is going to want to slide forward and your left hip is going to want to slide back. Try to keep them still. That means you're going to really have to push the feet into the ground. Rotate to the right. So you have to push the right foot into the floor and pull the left foot back to prevent that hip sliding. Back to center. Bring the arms up. And when you see the stick in your peripheral line of sight, push in. Okay, so you felt what I was talking about. As you rotate, as I'm rotating to the left, that left foot's got to push forward and the right foot's got to pull back so that way my hips don't slide. All right, 1 more rep. Here we go. Pull apart on that stick, about 40% tension, up overhead. Breathe, hold. Slowly come back down behind the head. And here we go. Add that rotation to the left. So right now the left foot is pushing forward and the right foot is pulling back to keep those hips locked. Come back to center, keep pulling apart on the stick, and rotate to the right. So now your right foot is pushing forward, and your left foot is pulling back to prevent that sliding of the hips. Back to center. You're still pulling apart, bring the hands up, and return the stick. When you see the stick in your peripheral line of sight, push in. Nicely done on that, excellent. All right, let's move that chair away. Let's move that spine. Let's rotate that spine a little bit more in the half kneeling position. So the half kneeling, this is going to put a little bit of stability demand on you, the user at home. You may find that this is a little difficult to stay in the half kneeling position, so we're going to challenge that hip stability. If you're looking straight ahead at me, right now you should be able to see my right foot. So my right hip is in neutral position. If you see here, you can see my right foot. My right hip is externally rotated. So it's a tripod or a triangular aspect. So that's giving me added stability. We want to take that away from you for right now, all right? So right leg is down, left leg is in front, all right? Take a wide berth here, so don't get too in line to start with, all right? Palms facing forward, stick is parallel with the floor, and it's sternum level. From here, shorten the stick. Elbows are extended, but I'm trying to shorten the stick. It's a 6-foot stick, trying to make it 5.5 feet in length. And from here, I'm going to rotate to the left. Do not let this left leg fly out. And now flex. So lower your torso towards the floor. So we have rotation and some flexion through the spine. Come back up. Keep shortening that stick as you come back to center and rotate to the right. Keep your hips square. You're shortening the stick and now laterally flex. So you're trying to crunch, do a little crunch here to the right. Come back up. And relax. Now, let's do that again. This time, if you feel that you're solid and nice and stable, move that left foot in toward your center. It's going to add a little more challenge to that back hip stability. Ready? Here we go. Shorten that stick. About 40-50% tension. You're trying to shorten that stick. Rotate to the left. Do not let that left hip fly out. You should feel your left adductors working to keep your hips locked in. When you get to your end range, do a little bit of a crunch right there. You're trying to curl your torso down towards the floor. You should feel your left tissues contracting. Come back up and back to center. Ready? Here we go. To the right. Remember, you're still shortening that stick. And now crunch. Keep your hip underneath you. Don't let that butt cheek shoot backwards. Make sure that hip stays right underneath you, your right glute. Come back up and relax. Let's go ahead and switch legs. So now our left leg is down. Remember, take a look at that lower leg bone. Make sure it's in line with your left upper leg bone, all right? Take a wider base to start with. One hip will not stabilize as well as the other based off our movement patterns and yada, yada, yada. All right? Okay. Stick is parallel to the floor. Back toes are in extension, so I got those toes dug into the floor also. Arms are extended, so they're straight. Shorten that stick. About 40-50% tension. And now rotate to your right. Remember, don't let that right leg fly out to the side. Use the right adductors to keep that right leg trapped in. When you get to your end range, flex. Perform that little crunch. You're going to feel those right tissues performing that crunching motion. Come back up. You're still shortening that stick as you come back to center. And now to the left. When you get to your end range, perform that little crunch. You should feel your left lateral tissues performing that crunch. Come back up. Ooh, got a little bit of a cramp almost there on my side. Okay, take a second, relax a little bit. Remember, if your hip is nice and stable, take that right foot and move it in towards your center a little bit more. And right away, you're going to feel a little bit more stimulation on that back hip. Okay, ready? Here we go. Shorten that stick, about 40-50% tension, and rotate to the right. When you get to your end range, laterally flex. You're trying to lower that torso, trying to perform that little crunch. Come back up, and now rotate to the left. Keep your hip underneath you, and now flex. Laterally crunch. Breathe. Come back up. And back to center. And relax. Nicely done. Okay. Whew. So, let's work on some RDLs today. All right. Remember, walking is about 70% single leg activity. Running is 100% single leg activity. So we want to make sure that we train each leg individually on its own. So that way that leg that you don't use as well or is a little bit deficient has the ability to catch up to the other leg, all right? Okay, so if you have two sticks, great, more stability. If you only have one, then I'll cue you on how to utilize that one stick. Feet together, sticks at 11 o'clock and 1 o'clock. If you only have one stick, place the stick in your right hand at 1 o'clock, all right? If you have two, great. Hand is sternum level. So here's your sternum. Extend the arms out so the hands are sternum level. Push the stick or sticks into the floor for about 50% tension and bring your right leg up. So your right hip is in flexion and your left leg is driving straight down towards the floor. And now hinge. Drive the left butt cheek straight backwards. Look at my lower leg bone. It's staying centered, so I'm not pulling it back and I'm not letting it go forward. I have a soft angle at my left knee. I'm driving that right heel back, the heel. Focus on the heel. Internally rotate that right leg down towards the floor. Make sure you're doing that at the hip, not the shoulder. Sometimes if people have tight hips or immobile hips, the body's going to want to drop the shoulder, and that's going to give you the perception that you're dropping the right hip down or turning the right hip in, I should say. Come back up. Nice tall position. Don't put that right foot down on the floor. Okay, ready? Here we go. Let's do it again. Hinge. Breathe. Now, make sure you have all your lines of tension. Dorsiflex that right ankle. So you're trying to pull the right toes to your shin bone. Driving that right heel back. Turn your eyes and head to the right. So you should be looking over your right arm. This may be challenging for some people. For some people it's not. Either way, you should feel more stimulation in that left leg. Turn your head back to center and come back up. Let's do that again. Ready? One more rep. Hinge. So we're going, this is what we call sagittal or straight ahead single leg training. And now we're going to add some frontal plane training. So once again, turn your eyes and head to the right. And now, make sure that right leg is still driving back. Don't let it get lazy. Turn your hips, open them up to the right. If you have a single stick, this is going to be much more demanding for you. 2 sticks, a little bit more stability, should be easier but still challenging. You should feel that left leg working hard to maintain your stability. You should feel your left adductors opening up and trying to work to hold you upright. Turn your eyes and head back to center. And then close that right hip down. Remember, it's just like closing the lid of a trunk. And I'll drive back up. All right, let's switch legs. Okay, ready? Here we go. Right now, my wife is behind the camera glaring at me because I'm making her stay in a single leg position for so long. Hey, honey, how you doing? Okay, ready? Here we go. Push the sticks to the floor, about 50% tension. Bring that left leg up into flexion and hinge. Breathe. Full inhale, full exhale. Keep those arms extended. Drive that left heel back. You should feel your right foot should be reflexively trying to grab the ground. So imagine you're trying to pull the toes and the balls of the feet lightly towards your heel. So the power pad or the ball of the foot under the right big toe and left and right little toe. Now, come back up. Rep 2, here we go. Hinge. Drive that right butt cheek back. Drive the left heel back. So the left leg should be straight. Internally rotate. See what I'm doing with my left leg? I'm turning the hip down. As I turn the hip in, I'm going to feel that in my right outer glute line. Now, I'm going to turn my eyes and head to the left. Hold that position. Breathe. You're still driving that left heel back. Turn your eyes and head back to center. Drive back up. And again, here we go. Ready? Here we go. Hinge. Last rep. Breathe. Full inhale, full exhale. Turn your eyes and head to the left. And now open up your hips to the left. Remember, don't open too far to start with because I don't want you falling over at home. Breathe. Keep that left leg driving back. Full inhale, full exhale. Turn your eyes and head back to center. And now close the hip back down and drive back up. Excellent. Nicely done, guys. Nicely done. Okay, go ahead and put one stick back. All right. Whew. Okay. Now, single leg squat. Okay. So we haven't done this in a while. We did this in our early workouts, so we're going to bring this back in today. Feet together. We're going to place that stick at 3 o'clock position. Right hand is over about top of the head level. So as we squat down and reach, we're also going to get some opening up and some reflexive pushing down through this right arm line. Bring that left leg up. So right as you do that, you should automatically want to push that stick into the floor with that right hand. Don't lean on the stick though. If the stick were to disappear, you shouldn't fall over. And now squat on your right leg. Keep your right heel flat. Don't let the right hand drop down. Your head should actually be balanced or lined up over your right foot. Now, take this right foot, push it into the floor to drive you away from the floor. Back to a nice tall standing position. Make sure your right glute is squeezed and tuck that pelvis underneath you. So when I say tuck, I want the bottom of the pelvis to roll forward and the top of the hip to roll back. So it looks something like this. All right, okay. Let's go. 2 more reps. Ready? Here we go. Squat, reach. Your left leg can either go back or stay forward, whichever one feels more comfortable to you. Now you should be able to notice too that your knee is out over your toe line. Here's a little secret. It's okay to do that. Okay, ready? Here we go. We won't tell too many people though. Ready? Drop down. 1 more rep. That's the one thing that a lot of people are told that they shouldn't be able to do is have their knees go out in front of their toes. All right, let's go ahead and switch sides. Stick is at 9 o'clock. Left hand is up top, about top of the head level or eyeball level. Push that stick into the floor, about 40-50% tension. Bring that right hip up into flexion. And now we're going to squat on that left leg. And one leg's going to be more comfortable with this than the other. Push that left foot into the floor to drive you away from the floor. 2 more reps. Here we go. Ready? Squat down. Full inhale, full exhale. Breathe. Drive back up. 1 more. Here we go. Ready? Drop down. Hold. Full inhale, full exhale. Remember, feel that difference between a squat and a hinge. And push the floor away from you. Nice. So there's kind of a reason why I wanted to put these 2 movements back to each other, all right? There's a difference between squatting and hinging, and you should have just felt that difference, all right? Okay. Whew. Nicely done. Okay. Now, let's really get those lats engaged, arm lines engaged. We're going to do some hanging. If you have a single stick, just hang from a single stick. But for our rest of us, we got 2 sticks. If you have a shorter stick and you're taller or you have longer arm line, bam, set that stick or both sticks up on top of a chair or a plyo box or an elevated platform, and automatically you have longer sticks. All right, here we go. Feet together. Actually, bring your feet about shoulder width apart. Arms at the top. If you can, reach over the top. So this is what we call our bar grip. Like we're hanging from a bar. Nice tall position. And now at 60% tension, push those sticks down into the floor. Push. Breathe. As you're pushing those sticks into the floor, you should feel your lats engage. You should feel your arm line and your hands reacting to pushing those sticks down into the ground. Don't let your ribs flare. Push. Squeeze your glutes and tuck your pelvis. Ease off. Reset your grip, all right? You can use either a good palm grip, or if you want to train your fingers more, then just place your fingers on top. Okay, ready? So this one, I'm going to put just my fingers. Okay, ready? Here we go. Let's go 70% tension. Let's go a little bit more. Ready? And push. Those sticks are right next to the outside of your feet. Push. Full inhale, full exhale. 70%. Go a little bit harder. Give me 80%. Push. Imagine you're trying to put holes in the floor with those sticks. And relax. Nicely done. Let's go one more rep. Reset your grip. All right? So this time, let's take a rope grip. So really get a hold of those sticks. Okay, ready? Arms straight, or as straight as they can be right now. Ready? And push. Give me 70% tension. Push. Breathe. Build to 80. Push harder. And relax. Take a second. All right? Now we're going to move the hands down. So here, if we look at it this way, we've actually increased the arm length vertically. So we technically have advanced and elevated the vertical lever length of the upper arms. Now we're going to bring the arms down. So now if you look at the upper arms, I've increased the vertical. I've increased from a vertical lever to a horizontal lever. All right? Okay, ready? So the upper arms you want parallel to the floor. Okay, ready? Chest up. Rope grip, of course, and 60% tension push. If you're pushing those sticks into the floor, you should feel like you're almost trying to lift yourself away from the floor. Push. And relax. Okay, give yourself a quick little break. You should have felt that difference from here to here. All right? Ready? 2 more reps. Let's go 70% tension. I'll take a front view so you can see where my arm position is. I'm not letting the elbows fly out. Ready? 70% tension and push. Breathe. Full inhale, full exhale. And relax. Okay. We're going to add a little rotation to this. Okay, ready? Last rep. Here we go. Push. Give me 80% tension. Squeeze those glutes. Do not let those hips move and keep looking straight ahead. Move the sticks to the left. So you should be looking at your right hand. Keep your hips square. Drive those sticks down into the floor. 80% tension. Push. Now to the right, driving those sticks down. Hips stay square, so engage those glutes. You should be looking straight ahead. You should see that left hand in front of your face or off to the side, right side of your face. Back to center, keep pushing down 80% and relax. Whew. All right. Now, let's go ahead and down regulate and get some stretching on, all right? Okay. Have a seat on the floor and actually grab a pad. So I shouldn't say seat, we're gonna go in a half kneeling position. Now, use the wall. So the wall, right now, I want the wall on the right side of your body. So your wall should be at 3 o'clock, okay? Your left knee is gonna be down. Okay, so once again, lower leg bone should be in line with the upper leg bone. All right, extend your ankle, so that means the top of the foot, see where I'm tapping the top of my foot, is on the floor. Take the stick, place it into the base of the floor at 3 o'clock position, and your right hand is on top. All right, now, the right hip or the right knee and foot should be facing the stick. So make sure that that's at 3 o'clock. For some people, you may already feel this groin area stretching. All right, so some people may be like, oh, I feel it already, and that's fine, that's good. At 30% tension, I want you to push the stick down into the base of the wall with that right hand. And also gently push the top of the left foot down into the floor at just about 30% tension. Remember, we're down regulating, stretch it. And now what I want you to do is shift your weight towards the wall, but keep your right heel flat. So now you're opening up the groin area. You're hearing those snide little noises from my wife back there. Breathe. And now maintain that tension. Take that left hand and reach. So you're trying to reach for the wall. Keep that left foot pushing into the base of the floor. You're trying to work on dorsiflexion here, thoracic rotation, opening up the groin. Come back to center. And we're going to do that one more time. If you need to move the foot away from you farther, then go ahead and move the foot away from you farther, because I want that right heel to stay flat. Okay, ready? Here we go. So I'm square to 12 o'clock right now. Push the stick down into the floor, 30% tension with the right hand. Push the top of the left foot down into the floor, and now sink into your 3 o'clock. You should be feeling this groin opening up. So we have that first. We want to address that. Torso's facing forward, and now reach. Try to reach that wall. Keep that right heel flat. Back to center and relax. Okay, let's switch sides. So I'm going to face behind you so you're going to get a different view of what's going on right here. Okay? Right knee is down on the floor. Right foot, the top of the right foot is on the floor. My left leg is pointed out to 9 o'clock. So the stick is at my 9 o'clock position. Left hand is up on the top, above the top of my head level. Take the stick with the left hand and push the stick down into the floor at about 30% tension. Take the top of that right foot, I'm tapping it right now, and push it down into the floor at 30% tension. You should feel that through the groin area, and now sink. Shift your weight towards the wall. Keep the left heel flat. Torso facing forward to start with, so you should be looking straight ahead at 12 o'clock. Pushing the top of that right foot down into the floor. And now with the right hand, reach for the wall. Reach. Breathe. Full inhale, full exhale. Ease off. If you need to, you can move your foot forward a little bit more. It's no big deal. All right, wherever you feel comfortable, wherever you can get more movement. All right. Remember, left heel stays flat though. Again, push the stick down into the base of the floor at 30% tension. Push the top of the right foot down into the floor at 30% tension. Sink to your 9 o'clock. So you're driving towards the wall. Keeping the left heel flat. You should feel that groin area opening up. Keep that pelvis underneath you, so no pushing the butt backwards. We're not the Kardashians, so we're not sticking our asses out. And now reach for the wall. Breathe. Reach. Full inhale, full exhale. Come back to center and relax. Nicely done on that. Excellent. Okay. Now, let's go into our lateral bow and arrow. All right. Let's get those lateral tissues opened up. Whew, a little sweaty here. Okay. It's hard work talking and moving. Set your feet about shoulder width apart. Place the stick at 3 o'clock position. Remember, as always, if you have good lateral flexion, if you want to make it a little bit more activation, bring the stick in closer to you. For those of you who may be a little bit tighter or weaker up top, or a little bit tighter through the lateral tissue line, then move the base of the stick away from you. All right? So the stick is at 3 o'clock position. Elbows at about 90 degrees to start with. Keep your hips square. Right over the top with the left hand, both palms facing forward. Push your hip out to 9 o'clock first. That is the first action you're taking. And now move the stick away from you. At no point should you be leaning on the stick. Let your head tilt. Breathe. If that stick were to disappear, you should still not fall over. Ease off. Rotate the stick slightly so you're not flexing the stick in the same direction all the time. Again, push your hip out first, and now push the stick away from you. Full inhale, full exhale. So even with my mobility, my lateral mobility, as good as it is, I still feel the same benefit keeping the bottom of the stick away from me as it is bringing it in, all right? Let the head tilt, ease back, rotate the stick slightly. So one more rep. Now we're gonna add some flossing in, okay, ready? Here we go. Push the hip out first, and then move the stick away from you. So remember, the idea is to always keep the hip and the stick pushing away from each other. Away from each other. Keep your legs straight. Do not move the hips, but move the stick forward. And now move the stick back. Don't flare the ribs though, and don't move the hips. Forward, back. I'll take a quick, keep going. I'll show you a short side profile so you see what that looks like. Forward, ribs stay attached to the hips, and back. One more. Forward and back. Excellent. Let's switch sides. Stick is at 9 o'clock. Left elbow's at about 90 degrees. Hips are square, facing 12 o'clock. Reach over the top with the right hand. Push your hip out to 3 o'clock first, and then extend those arms away from you. Let that head tilt. Full inhale, full exhale. Breathe. Ease off. Rotate the stick slightly. And again, push your hip out to 3 o'clock first, and then extend the arms away from you. Let the head tilt. Full inhale, full exhale. Ease off. One more rep. Let's add that flossing in. Ready? Push your hip out to the right first. Extend those arms. Let your head tilt. Breathe. Do not move those hips. 4 reps. Flossing through the shoulders. Move the stick forward. Brace those abs. Keep the ribs down. Pull back. One side won't move as well as the other. All right? So don't be surprised by that. You should really never expect to have the same ranges of motion in both shoulders, hips, elbows, knees. They all have different capabilities based off of what you've been doing your whole life. One more rep. And relax. Whew, nicely done. Okay, one last one. Let's get that ninja flow. Let's get that T-spine opened up and move those hips side to side. Wide base with the feet. Stick inside the right instep. Don't be dainty with that stride. Get those feet opened up, all right? Take them nice and wide. Right hand is a little above the top of the head level. Keep the right arm straight. Push the stick into the floor, about 30% tension and hinge. So we're sinking the hips back. You're trying to decrease the angle between your sternum or your stomach and the quads. Soft angle at the knees. If you're hypermobile, we don't want you hanging out on your end range of the joints. Breathe. As you hinge, you should feel this right arm line automatically starting to stretch. Reach for the floor with that left hand. Now we're going to change it up a little bit from normal. Sink your weight to your left leg. Breathe. Reach across and and grab the stick, overhand grip on that stick with the left hand, and slowly, lightly pull the stick towards you with the left hand, just lightly. Ease off, shift your weight back to center, and come back up. Bet you'd like to do that one more time. So we will. Okay, ready? Here we go. Push the stick into the floor, about 30% tension, and hinge. Breathe. Remember, you're actively trying to push that chest or stomach down towards the floor. Shift your weight to this left leg, so you're pushing that right foot into the floor to drive your weight over. Still pushing that butt backwards though. All right? Now, take that left hand, reach across and grab the stick with an overhand grip. And lightly pull the stick towards you with the left hand. Breathe. Ease off and come back up. Switch sides. Last half and then we'll be done. All right, here we go. Stick is at 9 o'clock. Top of the left hand, or left hand is at top of the head level. Push the stick into the floor, about 30% tension. And now hinge. Sink the sternum and the chest and the stomach down towards the floor. Soft angle at both knees. You're hinging. Breathe. Actively reach for the floor with that right hand. If your right hand can touch the floor, if you have longer arms or really mobile, then reach up a little bit higher on that stick with the left hand. Now, sink to your right leg. So pushing the left foot into the floor to drive you over. Now reach across, grab the stick with an overhand grip on the right hand, and lightly pull the stick towards you. Just a little, just lightly, about 30%. Breathe. Ease off, come back to center, come back up. Last rep, here we go guys, ready? Here we go. Push, 30% tension, and hinge. Breathe. Okay, shift weight, sink weight to your right leg. Take that right arm, reach across your body, grab the stick with an overhand grip, and lightly pull towards you. Full inhale, full exhale. If you can do just nasal breathing, great. Ease off and come back up. Woo! Nicely done, everyone. Excellent work. Give yourself a hand. Thank you again to Coach Jared and Coach Ray Bailey for covering the last few classes. I hope everyone enjoyed what they had to offer. We'll have them jumping in every once in a while, along with some other guest coaches who have gone through our education system and who can bring some different aspects and some different movements to the program. So don't expect to see me all the time. And like I said earlier, you don't want to stare at my face all the time. So until Tuesday, everybody out there right now with the current situation, remember, be good to each other. Just be decent human beings. Treat everyone exactly like you would want to be treated yourself. Until next time, peace.